What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Launchpad 1412. Excited to be back with some Madden 20 gameplay here. Got an online rank match. Actually, got a couple of online rank matches. Got a double hitter for you guys, so hopefully you guys are excited about that. You know, it's kind of rare that we have a double hitter on this channel, but so many people have been quitting lately, so it's just I don't know. The first game, this game right here, I'm not gonna lie, this guy he quits kind of early, so I know it's kind of interesting to see, you know, why people quit or what makes a person quit in these games at the same time. You know, sometimes the games where people quit, sometimes those are the best highlights. Sometimes I know it might sound funny, but sometimes those are the best highlights that you can get in the game. But anyway, as you can see in the title, I did get into a car accident. Of course, that is not nothing to laugh about, and I did get hurt pretty bad. Not like I didn't get anything permanent, but I did get some back injuries. Everything was hurting like simultaneously at one point. When on immediate hit impact, my lower back was definitely killing me a little bit. Like it was hurting me so bad to the point where I couldn't even sit down for a long period of time. I had to stand up. But let's start the story off though. Let's get to the story for a second. So I'm coming from Rite Aid. Remind you, Rite Aid is right down the street. This left-hand turn where the accident happens at is the left-hand turn that I make every day. Now, remind you, I've been living where I've been living for 10 years. 10 years now. So I make this left turn every day. I'm making a left turn, you know, after I get some Pampers and wipes from Rite Aid for my wife. And this guy hits me on the driver's side. Can you believe that? The driver's side. He hits me on the driver's side as I'm turning left. Now, what makes this even wilder, check this out. What makes this even wilder, we're in a two-lane road where the two lanes are going opposite of each other. You only can go up or down. You know, you go left or right. You know, you can't go. There's no four lanes, and we're not going the same way. The lanes are going in two opposite directions. The double yellow line, double solid yellow line. Yeah, and this guy hits me on the left-hand side. Now, if you're going to pass somebody because you feel like somebody's going too slow, which technically you should never do, especially on two lanes where they're going opposite directions. That's why the solid yellow lines is there to let you know not to cross. But this guy crosses in the lane going the opposite direction and hits me on the driver's side. I couldn't believe it. So, but if you are going to pass somebody, you would think that this guy would, okay, let me go to the right, not the left, but the right, regardless of which way he thought I was going to go. Because he tried to say, I changed my mind. I said, nah, I didn't change my mind. I said, that's the street that I live on. When I told him that, he was shocked, but we'll get to that part. So I get hit. Of course, I make a crazy sound because I'm shocked that I got hit on the left-hand side, making a left-hand turn on the same street that I live on. Like, I noticed, immediately I know that this is insane, and this is like the goofiest hit, the way you could ever hit somebody because of where I've been hit at. Like on the driver's side, like right up by the bumper, like he hit my door, you know, like the driver door, like it was wild. I couldn't, I'm trying to process what in the world was this guy thinking as my car is veering off to the side after the hit. So like I said, my back was hurting, and of course various parts of my body was hurting simultaneously. So I get out the car because it was too painful to sit down. And the cop was there in like 5 seconds, it felt like. They must have called the cops immediately. I halfway didn't know what to do. I called my wife. I halfway didn't know what to do. I looked up, the cops was there. And the cops was there and the witness was there out of nowhere. I'm like, man, this happened fast. Like the cops came fast. The witness came out of nowhere, so I talking his talk. I didn't hear mostly what he said. The only thing I heard the witness said was that I had my blinker on. That's the only thing I heard that the witness said. So I went to the cop to ask if I could take, because he asked me for license, registration, all that. So after all that was done, of course, I asked him. I went to the cop. I had to go to the cop. I had to walk across. I asked him if I could, take pictures of the guy that hit me in his vehicle. So I'm taking pictures. The cop said, "Yeah, go ahead, take a picture if you got to." And so anyway, I'm paraphrasing a little bit. He was saying I didn't really need to take pictures, but I'm gonna take pictures anyway. So I go to take pictures. And the guy that hit me, he's honking the horn like, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm thinking in my head like I'm taking pictures, bro. Like, you just hit me, bro. Like, then he kind of got the car like he wanted to get brolic. Now in that moment, I was so banged up. I'm not gonna lie. If a fist fight would have broke out in that moment, he probably would have got me. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have been able to handle him because my body was so beat up in that moment. He probably would have got me. But luckily, he didn't make that horrible decision, because that would have been another bad decision, because the cop was right there with us, and then the cop would have had no choice probably but to arrest him. And this ain't like back in the day where you can get into a fight, cop break it up, and he just make you sit there and waste your time, and he tell you to go home. A cop probably would have had to take him to jail. So luckily, he didn't make that move. On top of that, he had his baby and his girl in the car. So if you got your baby and your girl in the car, why are you driving like that, cuz? I just didn't understand. Like, why are you driving that reckless, especially when you got two people's lives that I know you really, really care about in your hand? But, so, long story short. Well, basically, I asked him if he was okay. I took a couple pictures of his car. I asked him if he was okay. He said he was fine, said everybody was fine. And then he said something about him having. That's when I found out he had it, because he said he had a baby. That's how I found out he had a baby. I definitely felt bad for the baby. I felt bad that he had a baby and the baby got into the car accident. But he said the baby was fine. So, luckily, that's the most important thing, that the baby was okay. But yeah, the cop said it was both of our first faults. He tried to say I made a wide turn. I'm trying to tell the cop, like, nah, I didn't make a wide turn. I make that turn every day. I said that's the street that I live on. I said, plus my driver's side, the car is scratched up because of the way he hit me. Like he was ground. It wasn't like it's a straight impact hit. He grounded on my car and didn't hit me. But think of it as, I knew that the cops, and let's say I knew I could. He gave both of us a ticket, which was wild. I knew I could get rid of the ticket by going to court and all that. And then on top of that, I already knew the insurance adjusters, they make the last decision, so I wasn't too worried. But I did give him some argument, because it just didn't make, his conclusion didn't make sense to me at all. I was thinking, like, man, you're supposed to be a cop. So if you're a cop, you're supposed to have some type of deductive skills. And out of all things you can conclude in this situation, that's your conclusion. I'm just thinking, like, because that right there was baffling me. So almost got into it with him. I said, you know what, let me just calm down. Let me catch myself. Because if this cop gets aggressive, I really, really ain't gonna be able to beat him. So I might have had a chance with old boy, but I was so banged up. I knew there was nothing I could be able to do with that cop. Not that he didn't seem like that type of cop, but you never know. What I mean? People do irrational things, and at random times via this accident. I was thinking in my head, like, man, if he'd hit me on the passenger side, that would have been way more. It still would have been a stupid move, but it'd have been way more understandable than hit me on the driver's side. He tried to say I changed my mind. The guy that hit me, I'm like, what do you mean I changed my mind? Like, what kind of reasoning is that? I'm like, man, you should just not say nothing to me at all about it. If you was gonna say, like, man, that was the best you could come up with, I was like, my goodness, man. But anyway, yeah, that happened, and our car was totaled so bad. Both cars was totaled, but he hit me so hard that, of course, he destroyed the bumper on the left-hand side. You could see the battery and the engine as underneath the car. So I was making all kinds of noise riding on the way home. Yeah, I was down the street, so I just took it all the way home. So it was just, man, it was wild. But it's funny, man. It might have been a blessing in disguise. So just basically, because of our coverage, and my wife got all kinds of coverage and insurance, this car is practically probably going to be paid off. That's what it's looking like. They're going to pay the car off. And, we can ride one car for a while. Besides, my wife's car, still takes the Uber. So, wait, don't get, it's going to be an adjustment, but we're going to be all right though. Your boy